As you've seen up to this point, I haven't had the best success with new Chaos Rising decks. The power level in this set has been expectedly low, though I am partly to blame for that, what with the whole listening to YouTube commenters who told me Mega Absol was busted with Greninja. Everything changes today though because I'm playing a coin flip deck, and nothing ever goes wrong when I do that. A bajillion times better than Mega Hawlucha. If you flip heads on Cinccino EX, it's protected against all damage. Do that once per duel, your chances of winning go way up. But if you spent the last 4 years telling the world how bad TCG Live is, well, that'll never happen. Regardless, Cinccino has a really good attack, it just takes time to get it up to an impressive size. For each energy attached to the chinchilla, it does 40 damage. There are several ways to make this work, with the most successful being Metang. But there's also Yanmega, who can pass it grass energy, which you then double with Meganium. Additionally, Emboar can give it every fire energy in your hand. And there's even Joltik or Mega Audino. Despite all the potential goodness, there is a major problem. It is indeed pronounced Cinccino, not Cinccino. Also, the biggest weakness for Cinccino isn't fighting. It's actually Team Rocket's Watchtower. As a result of everyone trying to shut off the Dunsparce and Kangaskhan and Meowth, they can simply plop a Watchtower down, nullifying its ability, thus causing your chinchilla to get its cheeks chapped. I so desperately want to show this matchup against Gourgeist because that's my Saturday deck. Oh, yeah, well, here we go. Trust your pilot has to use Meowth for petrol, just as the witch foretold. Oh, okay, we prized 2 petrol. That's cool. That's fun. At least we didn't prize a trolley. All right, so then I want to go Beldum, Minccino, Genesect. No, it has to be 3 Beldum. But, like, that's also not good. But I also have, yeah, I mean, Heart of the Cards, baby. Who said Heart of the, I said Heart of the Cards. We're doing Heart of the Cards today. Okay? Heart of the Cards all day, bro. It's every day, bro. Then watch this be 2 energy. Oh, okay. That's exactly what I needed for next turn. So they can't one-shot a Mega Kangaskhan. That's what you have to remember is I know Gourgeist, I think tops out at 260 or 280. That'll be my Saturday deck. I forgot to mention, I will not be able to get it up tomorrow. I've been, at my age, it's tough to keep it up this long. I've been, running a really fast pace. I did the draft video last Sunday. I did Pitch Black video yesterday. So I can't keep it up as long as I want to. So I do have to take tomorrow off. And then I will stream on Saturday against the Indianapolis Regionals, which is really funny because it's last format. Who wants to watch last format? Literally nobody. And yeah, they're having a tough time. Start playing Kyurem. All I'm going to say right now, with everyone running Colress, especially Psychic decks, just start playing Kyurem. Just have a copy of Kyurem. If you have Latinas in your deck, if you have at least 1 Latina in your deck, just play Kyurem. That is my Trust Your Pilot's expert advice of the day. Just play Kyurem. Everyone's playing Colress's Stochasticity. It's hilarious. So they gave me the Patrick Swayze. Oh, they used Ghostly Touch and they got rid of the 1 card in my hand they can't get rid of. Literally the 1 card in my hand they could not hit, they got. Oh my god, this game is great. They used Ghostly Touch instead of Horrifying Ronda Rousey, which would have been 180, but every card in my hand, except for the Metang, could have been taken. Guess what they hit? All right, so we got another Metang, and this is fine. I mean, I can just knock out the Gourgeist. I can just, make them hate life right now. Ooh, okay, so there's a few things that could happen right now. Depending on what I get with this Metang, there's a few things I can do. Never mind. There's one thing I can do. Oh, okay, so I think I knock out the Latinas then, right? If I knock out the Latinas, that takes one of their Pokemon off the board. That gives me 2 guaranteed prizes. And then I might be able to just knock out the Gourgeist. Ah, hoisted by your own petard. Hoisted by your own Jean-Luc Picard. See? Freaking genius. Freaking genius. All right, so next turn, we're going to knock out the Gourgeist. Because they can't use Ghostly Touch. Ghostly Touch only does 140. And I am in a world where actually Tuck Tail could knock out a Dunsparce. Or what the one thing I'm worried about playing Gourgeist on Saturday is there's no 70 hit point Pumpkaboo. And, oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I should. I guess I should include that as a Tails flip. I've been playing for 45 minutes. I have not flipped a single heads. Trust Your Pilot's been playing this deck for 45 minutes. No head. And there's a maximum belt, which doesn't matter. Oh, okay. So please. Okay, good. I didn't want them to hit the energy. That is really weird. So I need to hit 5 total energy between these two Metang. And I think I put a Night Stretcher in the deck. I believe I added one at the last second because I knew PD. Well, we're taking it. Oh, okay. So I think I have to tuck tail. I have to do what I just said I was going to do. I have to tuck tail. Oh, but I only need 2 more energy. No, I need to tuck tail. I have to tuck tail. It is the only thing I can do in the situation. It has to be a tuck tail. Yeah, there we go. I do a retreat. It was the correct call. Absolutely. And then I bosses. I mean, I feel like it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go for a Pumpkaboo. We're just going to go for a Pumpkaboo, knock it out. Maybe they'll special red card me and we'll get really lucky. If they don't, then I have a ton of energy in my hand and that's bad. But we did get a belt, of course. If I'd known I was going to get a Metang off the prizes, I probably would have just sent up Cinccino and YOLO'd. Because we're due to flip a heads at some point, right? But the reason I don't think Latias EX should be in here is because it can't attack. You look at every single Pokemon in... Thank you! Oh my goodness, they did it! They actually did it, but oh my god! Okay, please, when you touch me in my nice place, do not hit the energy recycler. You can touch me and do whatever you want to me. Just do not get rid of my energy recycler. That is all I ask of you. Though I do have to hit, what, 5 energy? It'd be really cool if I could top deck an energy right now. But again, they're going to Ghostly Touch again. I can't put Genesect down. I can put Kangaskhan down, but that doesn't really get me anywhere because there's no switch cards here. Please, hit the Genesect, hit the Kangaskhan, do not hit the energy recycler. You screwed me over once, PDCGL. You cannot do it again. Those are against the rules. And Ghostly Touch. Okay, energy recycler, just get rid of it. Yep, I knew it. We all knew that was going to happen. All right, well, we can win the game as long as they don't have 2 more bosses. Okay, we just have to flip heads like 3 times and we'll be fine. Okay, we did get an energy. I think I can't bench anybody else. We hit 2. Okay, well, now things get interesting. No, I can't put Genesect down and risk it because first of all, I don't think I have another Metang because remember what PDCGL did? Remember what PDCGL did earlier when it got rid of that Metang? So if we just flip 1 heads, we have a very good chance of winning. That is all it's going to take. Our first heads, I've been playing this deck for 50 minutes now. Just need 1 heads. I win the game. Their butt is sucked. And, oh, they also don't have an attack this turn. The only attack they have is Munkidori Confusion. Actually, now they have some more. But, yeah, I think now they have it, right? Because that's 230. Yeah, with the damage on there. So now... Oh, no, because the Munkidori's not damaged. So if they take the... Hang on, I got to do math here. So it'll have 50 on it. It'll have 190 left. It has 180. So they're currently 1 basic short. They are 1 basic short, I believe, of taking the knockout, even with Munkidori math. So this is where Gourgeist can struggle a little bit. And the Trevenant combo is that when you use Phantump's ability to directly evolve into a Trevenant in your hand, it puts 2 damage counters on the Phantump. The problem is that Trevenant kind of sucks. Trevenant, yeah, Overwhelming Pain is fine, but all things considered, Trevenant is, it doesn't really fit. Oh my god! How am I 0 for 4? Okay, yeah, and they had, my math was off. I am 0 for freaking 4. I have not flipped a heads with Cinccino. This cannot be happening to me. Not again. Ceruledge is definitely a great matchup for us. I think I just go Chikorita, Yanma. That's really all we need to win. Fun fact, if I just top deck or if I get a Cinccino off the Lily's Determination, I'm knocking out the Dumbsparce. So I have like a 77%. Oh, right, because I can just evolve immediately. I have a 77, 79, 78% chance of winning just this turn if I get a Chinchilla. And we got it, baby. We got the Chinchilla. Does it make sense to retreat? Yeah, right? It makes sense to retreat, right? Because they don't currently have the thingy thing. Right, so we go that there. And then 1, 2, 3. So I think this makes sense, is I have the turn 2 Yanmega, so why wouldn't I use it? And then I go into you. Let's Jet Cyclone, put 3 back. All right, so how many energy do I need to knock out a Ceruledge? Because I've been edging for a long time. So what's the Cerule when it comes to edging against the fire type? Because remember, Yanmega is weak to lightning. That is my favorite thing about this card. The ability's great, the attack is good, it hits the right numbers, unlike stupid Mega Floette. But the best thing is that it has a lightning weakness, and it does not have a fire weakness, so they need like 14 energy in the discard pile to knock out Yanmega. I need, I believe, 4 energy on the Cinccino with Meganium in play to knock out a Ceruledge. The thing is, they're clearly having a bad time over there, but I don't know what they're doing. Right, they're playing a Drillbur, Charcadet, the Dunsparce build, and they use Chop, which actually could help because 270 is a number. Please don't just immediately concede. Please. I beg of you. All right, let's let's just Pulver's first for Force of Vitality and Legacy Energy. And then Bug Catching Set for Bayleaf Meganium. Okay. All right. Yep. Should have seen that one coming. And then, yeah, I guess just retreat and hope. Is that hope or is that cope? And yeah, I'll, sure, we'll give you the Legacy Energy. And then, I mean, why not, right? Why not just put everybody into play? How can she slap? Well, that's how. Because I'm in a pretty decent spot. I have Energy Recycler, so I can retreat off an energy if they happen to take a knockout. And if you're wondering, trust your pilot, what is that heads flip? That heads flip is the only head I've gotten all day. It was against a Badoo. I was facing off against Ampharos. It went terribly for them. Ampharos is a terrible card, terrible deck. It was against Badoo. So we've stopped a grand total of 10 damage today, and that's really cool. I love stopping 10 damage, but then we'll not stop the, perfect 240? This is 250. So we have to flip heads and we win the game. We're 1-6. We're 1-6, everybody. Having a great time. 1-6. Just needed to flip 1 heads and we have a chance in this game. So naturally, we did not do that. All right, so there's Chikorita. I guess I just attached to the Chikorita. I don't think there's an air balloon or like a switch card or something. And I'm really glad I got that energy and that stadium out of the deck last turn, because that's really helpful. Okay, so we go Yanmega, powered all the way up. Luckily, it has the Legacy Energy, so I will not pass the Legacy Energy back. But this is slightly awkward. But I think it's Dawn of Justice. I will not say Dawn of Thrustus. That's an overused term. And we go for Cinccino. I will Jet Cyclone. I could Talk Tail. I can always Talk Tail for KO, by the way. All right, then 1. We only want to put the Grass Energy because the Legacy Energy will only let them take 1 prize. I do have to be a little careful here because if they have Briar, whenever I'm edging myself, Briar never watches me even though I ask her to. There we go. Okay, so they do play Prism Tower. They're just playing. It's not worth it. The Dunsparce is not better than Solrock Lunatone. It's just, it's tough to say, but it's just not better. All right, so we have the knockout on the Ceruledge this turn. The question is, have I made an oopsie in my pants? I believe so. Yeah, I think this is a problem because I only need one energy to knock out the Ceruledge, but I can't get another Yanmega? That's a if I'd believed in the heart of the cards. Okay, so I need Hilda for Bayleaf. Yeah, Bayleaf and Ignition. Because we prized a Cinccino. There's no recovery in this deck because you're not supposed to prize everything. You know what? Heart of the card. There's no way we're going to go 1 for 7 on coin flips, okay? There's no way we're going 1 for 7 on coin flips. It's literally impossible. Literally and figuratively impossible. We're doing 240, so I can attach to this guy. We're gonna flip heads, okay? We're gonna flip heads. We're gonna get our first meaningful head of the day. We're not just gonna get edged. Though if they do play Briar, we lose the game and they flip tails. So Briar tails, game is over and I lose. And also, again, there's no recovery. So the third and final Chinchilla is one of these two prizes. And I was looking at these lists. I'm like, you know, Japanese players are kind of crazy. And they don't put Night Stretcher and they don't put Switch cards. And they just, you know, go straight vibes. That's getting rid of your secret box is a rough go right there. So Pokepad probably for a Dunsparce, but do they not know that the game is going to end after this turn? Right, the game is ending after this turn. Either they win this turn and I got like no backup, or Abysmal Flames. Yeah, because it's just heads and I win. Thank you. Finally. Finally, we got our first heads. Press 1 if you enjoyed watching me get head today. I've been in like 17 different situations where I could have just gotten a little bit ahead and I would have won all my games. For the YouTube audience, I am now 5-2. Though one of those losses was Alakazam because its ability does nothing against Alakazam. The other one was Kangaskhan Ogerpon that I would have won if we just flipped 1 heads, but as you can see, PDCGL just enjoys giving me tail, but I prefer head over tail. This is the greatest hand I have ever seen. I have never had such a good handy in my life. We're going to end turn, and we're going to win. All right? We're going to start. I play 4 Poffin. I play 4 Bug Catching set. I play 3 Ultra Ball. You know, there's 9 basics, so Meowth shouldn't be the one that gets started. But we're going to be fine. You know, I have a Colress for a Legacy Energy, which doesn't really do anything. So in this situation, I have Air Balloon on the Meowth. I have a knockout of the Smoochum. Mega Floette is the worst card ever printed. It can't even knock out a Chinchilla. I think we're fine. I think even with the worst possible start you can imagine for me, I'm still going to win this game. I think even with the worst possible start, PB, I can't. I would have attacked with it if I had a somewhat playable starting hand with like, ooh, hello, okay. That changes nothing really, but it might. So we'll get Yanma and Chikorita into play. I have Colress's Thicacity for that, and let's go for Legacy. Why are they giving me a thumbs up? Why are they giving me a thumbs up? I have to burn my hand down. I have to burn it to the ground like I'm Nickelback, and we're burning it down to the ground tonight. Oh, I could have attacked with... This is what happens when PDCGL screws me over, is I lose all sense of decency. Right? I lose my skills, right? I just get so focused on one play, I'm like, I don't see the obvious, oh, I could have just used Yanmega. Right? I could have just used Yanmega that turn with Forest of Vitality, but I do have to keep a Forest for the Angie Floette. That is a slight problem, so it does make sense to not put the Forest of Vitality, go directly into Yanmega and do the thing. But also, Yanmega thins my hand. It does all the right things. But if we just flip heads, it don't matter. If we just flip heads, it don't matter. But, you know, they're just getting everything, and I am failing miserably. And what are my thoughts on Scoop Up Cyclone and Dragalogy Frostlass? I think you shouldn't play Dragalogy. What are my thoughts on Scoop Up Cyclone and Dragalogy Frostlass? You should not play Dragalogy. That would be my initial thought. That would be my DJ thought. All right, there we go. And can I get it up? There's a bug catching set. Can I get it? Ooh, we might be able to get it up here. I do need to take the energy, though. So that's going to have to be Yanmega. And then attach to the Yanmega. Retreat off the grass. Go 3. 2, 3. And then pass it all back. And did you just use the words good and Dragology in the same sentence, Foodler? All right, so 1, 2, 3. I can very easily win this game. Azumarill is not a threat unless they have to load up an Azumarill with all the energy, right? If you don't remember what Azumarill EX does, it can suck off all the energy from all of your other Pokemon, and then it does 60 base plus 40 more for each psychic energy attached to it. Oh, they're going for it. I think they're gonna go for it. Boo, they chickened out. Also, do they have a knockout on Yanmega if they do this? Because they're gonna have to put like all of the energy. Because I think it's 7 is the magic number for a lot of things on Azumarill. And wait, is their luck finally bad? Do they finally have worse luck than Trust Your Pilot playing Pokemon cards in 2026 on TCG Live? Oh, this is great. Okay, it's going to come down to a heads flip here. It's literally going to come down to who can flip heads. Who can get the most head wins this game. There's a Dawn. Did I just get a Meganium? This is crazy. Okay, so we're going to get Bayleaf, Meganium, Minccino. This is interesting. I don't think I can use the Forest of Vitality, though. Oh, no, I can, right? Because I have another one. I can get Meganium down. The question is, do I put the Minccino into play? That is the tough one here. If I put the Minccino into play, no, right? Because my win condition is just knocking out the Latias or the Fez or flipping heads. So I have to flip heads or I have to knock out the Latias or the Fez. Their win condition is just Azumarill. Azumarill Tails is how they win. The way that I can win is I don't. But no, the way that I win is I go Night Stretcher for the grass, attach the grass to the Meganium, Energy Recycler, put the energy on the Yan. There's no way PDC Gel's going to do this. It just Dawn of Justice on me. Because I don't have Meowth in deck, I can't Meowth for bosses, but I can Meowth with the Night Stretcher, but I need an energy to retreat the Meganium. So I need to retreat the Meganium, so I need a top deck an energy, or I can... No, I have to top deck a Meganium, or if we just flip heads, all thinking is thrown out the window. Right? If I just flip heads, it doesn't matter. Thinking is gone. We no longer have to think. This is why I wanted to play with the Chinchilla, is because you don't have to think. You just have to let PDCGL give you head. You just have to let the PDCGL dev decide that they like you today. Can I go 25% on coin flips? That'd be great. You know, I'm out here begging to go 25% on coin flips, and you say this game isn't rigged. Yes! Oh, it's not rigged. PDCGL is the greatest game ever printed. Build and battle. Who loves build and battle? Press 1. You know, I have a dark secret I have to... Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? You have failed? You have failed this city? Oh, what's that? Skill and playing your cards right isn't as good as luck? Yeah, that's what I thought. DJ thought. That's what I DJ thought. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I do think I lose, but we can have fun while getting beaten off, right? That's always enjoyable. But I think it's just economic that I lose because they can use Annihilate. They can Annihilate me, and I don't really have anything I can do. And the Slowpoke has 80 hit points, so I think I just attach to the Chinchilla and then go end turn. But the problem is with this matchup is if they just use Annihilate, that's an effective an attack and it goes through Chinchilla. The good news is that Kyurem is very weak. Metagross, they would have to ditch the card. So I think I pretty much win if I just get like the bare minimum. If I get the bare necessities, we are absolutely goated here. They had to put a Meowth down, but I need to play a supporter that is, you know, good. I have to play a supporter that is good and that is not bosses hors d'oeuvres. And yeah, they're going to smooch him like some toes. So I can take a knockout of the smooching, but there's no stadium in play. I believe I probably have 3 Battle Cage. If I had to guess, that's what the stadium is. But you could have at least put an Academy at Night down and let me beat you off slightly. There's a Poffin. That is, it's not what we wanted. All right, let's draw the card, see what we got. Lilies. Okay. I have an Emboar. Oh, this is really awkward. I think oh god, yeah, I think I go up with the Fan Rotom, and then I Hilda for, yeah, Enriching Energy to Dunsparce. And then to Dunsparce, Enriching Energy, so I'm going to draw 7 more cards. Not that I necessarily want to. Wow, this is, can I get an Emboar? Nope. Can I get a Cinccino? Nope. Can I get anything? Well, they're a Kyurem away from winning the game. Can you believe it? They're literally a Kyurem away from winning the game. So I have, oh, and I prized 2 chinchillas. Great. Wow. Imagine having like a 12-card hand and none of them are playable after you play your supporter. That's a feels bad. I'm pretty sure I play a 3/3 line. Wait, if they don't have Academy at Night, we're still in this one. They got the Boomer energy, but I think if I think I can win this one, unless they go for a raw Kyurem. That's always my favorite part. I mention this every time I face Slowking. Just having to go for the raw Seek Inspiration and hoping that your top deck is the right card. Okay. I thought we were out of this game, but they are out of this game. I also still don't have a stadium, but that's fine. Okay, we can play with our balls. I enjoy doing that regularly. I want to take the knockout with the Fan Rotom. But, you know, you gotta take what you got, right? You gotta take what you got. So let's go Cinccino, Enriching Energy. And then Enriching Energy on the Dunsparce. I just need, like, a Dunsparce. Oh, that was really close to failing miserably. Okay, so Pokepad. I'm going to Pokepad for the 1 to Dunsparce. Because I still have Ultra Ball Rare Candy for everything else. I just want to make sure that I put the Enriching Energy back in the deck so it's not lost for good. How do I still not... All right, this is fine. This is fine. We'll get rid of a Minccino. We'll go for Emboar. I mean, I could go for the Dunsparce, because how many stadiums we got? Oh, yeah, no, we're going for Emboar. We're going for Emboar. We do not have a choice in that matter. And then that'll go there. So I think I kind of want to masterfully bait them, right? I want to bait them into a Kyurem play. Because if they Kyurem here, that means the Cinccino's probably not going to get hit. And that's kind of what I would prefer. So, yeah, let's... And also, Emboar does knock out a Slowking. So, yeah, let's go this way. Let's pretend like it's corn and go the long way here. Because I have Fire Breather for next turn, which is okay. I also have, you know, I can use Inferno Fandango. I can use Grim Fandango. So what I want them to do is I want them to use Kyurem to wipe my butt. If they wipe my butt, I think I'm happy, which is very weird to say. Because I can win this game just with 1 Emboar and 1 Chinchilla. That's it. If I just have 1 Emboar, 1 Chinchilla, we can just completely take the game. And I can boss around their Slowking if I totally wanted to. And I have the 2 bosses. Yeah, there's Colress's Stochasticity. That's fine. They got the Boomer Energy. They're prepping for a Kyurem, I think. Please. Yeah, they're going for Kyurem. So they took I masterfully baited them. That's great. So in this situation, I think I Fire Breather. I Fire Breather for however much energy. They're going to knock out Dunsparce, probably Tepig. That's fine. So I Fire Breather for all my energy. I knock out the Slowking with the Emboar. And then I load up the Chinchilla and just go boss game. Oh, Ace. Oh, I know that's going to happen. I know the Annihilate is their win condition. Okay, that's fine. I think it makes sense to just use the Energy Recycler right now. And then I go Fire Breather. So 1, 2. Oh, I only had 5. That's pretty bad. All right, and then Emboar for all the energy. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2. All right, so 40, 60, 80, 120, 160, 200. So I'm going to need one more at some point. And then I have to switch into the Emboar because I need to keep that energy. And I would want... I think I want to put Boss on the top. Not that it really matters, but I just want to put... I mean, what if they have an I&O, right? What if they have an I&O? Very unhelpful, thank you. That's the most unhelpful thing you could have done. So Lana's aid is okay. The fact that I had to put 4 energy on the Emboar is not great. I think the deck has 11 fire plus 1 enriching energy. So I prize the fire. The enriching energy is in the deck. They have to make a tough call here. Right? They have to make a bit of a tough call where, you know, do I boss and annihilate? Do I boss and try to Metagross? But the thing is, if they boss and annihilate, then I have set up the Emboar and we might be okay. Well, no, because special red card is, wait, how does that work? Special red card puts it on the bottom, but do you shuffle your deck or do you shuffle the cards and put them on the bottom of your deck? I always forget. Fun fact, Foogler, they did do something really similar in the past where they printed Pokemon Catcher where it didn't have a coin flip. If you didn't know, they did print a Pokemon Catcher at one point. Oh, baby, that didn't have a coin flip effect. See? I told you we could masterfully bait them. And I want to knock out, obviously, I obviously boss this one and knock it out. I know it's risky to do it this way, but this way all the energy is off the field. And they have to play, you know, a Wonders Patch or something. So they have to get a Wonders Patch. Yeah, they printed a Pokemon Catcher back in the day, accidentally, or maybe it was on purpose, where it didn't have the coin flip effect. And as you can imagine, that was a horrible world that no one wanted to live in. And never gonna let you down. Shouldn't you have Academy at Night a bosses onto the top there? No. There is no reason to put a boss back into the deck because either they're attacking with Slowking, which I want to knock out, or they're, you know, bossing in it. The only thing they can do is attack with a Slowking this turn and do nothing particularly good. So putting the bosses means my top deck has a bosses, but I don't necessarily need a bosses, right? Like what use is a bosses going to be for me in the long run when all I really need to win is just to play with my balls? And if they don't find a Slowpoke, we win. They need to find so they need to find a Night Stretcher, of which they should have 4. They've only played 1, so they should have 3 more Night Stretcher. Ah, there it is. Okay. But they have to go for a Slowpoke, which isn't great for them. And I don't know if they have an attack this turn. Yeah, they don't have an attack this turn. This is great. This is amazing. Okay, so then oh, that's great. I'm in a bit of a weird spot right now, though. Because I can bosses the Slowking. Oh, I don't know. You know what? Heart of the cards, right? Heart of the freaking cards. There's the smart play, then there's the fun play. We're doing the fun play. We're going to get all 3 energy back. We're going to put them all back onto the Emboar. Inferno Fandango. All right, so 1, 2, 3. And then let me double check special red card. All right. Your opponent shuffles their hand. They draw 3 cards. So now I want to keep the bosses. Now I absolutely want to keep the bosses because now I win the game no matter what. See, this is what happens when I play Slowking, is stuff like this constantly happens where PDCGL just completely craps its pants and you just run out of resources. Oh, okay. All right, so if they red card me and I don't get an energy, I lose. So the way that they win is they have to get Annihilate. That's not... Oh, they're going for Metagross. And they just played a supporter, so if they don't special red card me, I think we're fine. They're going for a Metagross. We could flip heads. But as long as I have energy in my hand... Oh, we win. So we win no matter what, because we're going to flip heads, and I'm goated like that, and they can't win, and game is over. Suck my butt! Oh, no! I played this so perfectly. I played the game perfectly. And then PDCGL is like, nah, yeah, looks like you couldn't take the heat. Looks like your bacon is cooked. You let your bacon stay on the stove for too long, now it's burnt. I have made a terrible, terrible mistake. I thought I was going second, so I made a slight oopsie. I made a slight error in judgment. It's okay. We have a Minccino. We're going to go fan call for Minccino double Dunsparce. Minccino double Dunsparce. I have to hope that Joltik survives because we know they're going to knock out the Fan Rotom. Fan Rotom is not long for this world. I don't care if Splashing Dodge... Actually, I want Splashing Dodge to flip heads because I'm going to Joltik next turn. There's Zacian. They probably play a Felipe in here if it's an updated list. And there's Petrol. Ooh, so they might not be able to do anything this turn. Oh, never mind. They're going to be able to do everything this turn. Oh, Petrol. They might not be able to do anything. Nope. Cedra Box for Postwick, Hop's Bag, Hop's Choice Band, and then probably a Lilies or something, or whatever the other supporter is. So Fan Rotom is knocked out. I just need to find an energy, and we're totally fine. That is the only thing. We're going to Lilies for 8. We just need to find any energy. Doesn't matter what it... See, I told you the exact 4 cards. Postwick, Hop's Bag, Hop's Choice Band, Lilies, because now they're doing 100 damage for 0 energy. So the turn 1 Cedra Box is absolutely goated here. Because you just get everything. You get everything with the Cedra Box. Even Felipe, if that behooves you. You know, if you get the absolute nuts to start, you can Felipe and attack with Zacian and EX. I Splashing Dodge. I want them to flip heads and get their heads luck out of the way. Good. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then Battle Cage goes down to bump their stadium. I know hopefully they're only playing 3, or maybe they prize 2 Postwick, but this Joltik is also about to die. That's a Chinchilla. That's great. I can potentially win with just 2 Chinchillas after this, but I might want to have 3 if possible. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Jolting Charge. I'm just going to put... I think I have to put all 4 on a Cinccino. Because then 40, 60, 80, 120... 40, 80... 120, 160. I can't knock out a Zacian. But I can maybe trap it. But I mean, if they flip tails, I'm obviously knocking out the Phantom. Because Horrifying Revenge is a very powerful attack, but it does come up short on the Cinccino, even if I flip tails. Because I believe it's 220. But yeah, they're just going to knock out the Joltik. That's fine. Battle Cage has stuck. The Zacian is a bit of a problem. That is also a bit of a problem. And the fact that I'm only going to get 1 Joltik this entire game is not great, unless I want a Night Stretcher and do it again. But as you saw, I have no more Grass Energy. So there's not really a point to doing that, and I'm not quite sure why they evolved, right? Because Splashing Dodge, if you ever have a Splashing Dodge, you just do it. There's never a reason to evolve your Phantom unless you think it's about to get knocked out and the extra HP is good. But the whole strategy with Hop's Zacian and Hop's Trevenant and Hop's Phantom is you just attack with Phantom until you can't. And then you bring in Horrifying Revenge, but as long as Phantom can take a KO, just use Splashing Dodge every single turn you can. because there's a chance your opponent just can't do anything next turn. Right now, they've opened up the door for me to just get a free prize. And I mean, I have two avenues I can go here. I can believe in the heart of the cards and believe in the heart of the flips, which I should, or I can go for the Chinchilla. And I can, you know, do many things with Chinchilla. Because I can knock out Zacian next turn. I'm believing in the heart of the cards, baby. And I have to keep Battle... Do I have to keep Battle Cage? Again, they're not doing enough damage. So maybe Battle Cage actually doesn't matter and I should just go for the Dunsparce here. Yeah, I should just go for Dunsparce, see if that helps. You know, try to draw a useful card. Because I don't think the Battle Cage 30 damage is going to matter. Or sorry, the Post-Witch is going to matter as much as I think. And let's go for, yeah, Dunsparce. Ooh, do I want a Minccino? I have two more. Yeah, at least this way I might be able to bounce between them. I do kind of need to make some things happen. So we'll knock this guy out. We have to hope for heads. And then I need to start attaching to a Minccino on my bench. The reason for that is that I have two ignition energy, which allows me to knock out Trevenant as long as I put an energy on somebody. It was a calculated risk doing what I did. Right? I have Power Glass in the deck, so that's going to be good, especially with 3 energy in there. So Power Glass can help me out. I think I kind of have to put the Lightning on a Minccino. But even then, this is so tough. If I flip heads, everything is awesome, right? If I just flip heads, I boss the Zacian, I attach the Lightning, I ride the Lightning, we win the game. GG's, suck my butt, game over. I'm the best Cinccino player in the history of the world, and they are the worst Trevenant player. Ooh. Oh, damn it, I do 200. Crap. And there's the Lilies. Yes, we knew they had the Lilies, but we're going to win. Press 1 if you believe. Here we go. Are we going to flip heads finally? Finally! I have won the game. They can suck my butt. We're not going to get to 20 tails today. We're going to flip only heads the rest of the way. This is going in the YouTube video for sure. And that's an amazing top deck. All right. I know it's still pretty risky here, but I'm going to bosses the Zacian, because that can take a one-hit KO. And then I go to Dunsparce. I think I've won the game. Crap. I may not win this game. Can I get anything good? I have Fan Rotom. I mean, I can use bosses to knock out a Phantump or something if I really wanted to. But again, I don't think they can knock out my Chinchilla. I just bosses their Fez, take the knockout, attach an energy to one of my Minccino, and then I'm a knockout away from winning. So this, after 3 hours of playing Cinccino, seeing so much Dragapult, so many Watchtower, flipping far too many tails that any normal person should, unless you've been bad-mouthing PDC Jail for the past 4.5 years, even though you had original high hopes for it upon the first reveal. If all they do is attack with Cramorant, I'm happy, because I can flip tails and still win. Like, even if I flip tails, I still win the game because I'm awesome like that. It took 3 hours, but we finally got a good game, and it was the Joltik build of all ones. But my thought process was Joltik accelerates 4 energy. You use 2 Joltik, that accelerates 8 energy into play, which is, you know, not great, but you're two-shotting basically everything. You have Power Glass, so when Cinccino survives and flips heads, you get a free energy, that's an extra 40 damage. Ignition energy is an extra 120. Are they just going to knock out? That's totally fine. I play Legacy energy. I don't care who you go for. You wanted a free prize, it was not worth it. All right, they're spitting Fickle Matter. I just won this game. This is everything. This is all I wanted. My win-loss rate today is 8-9, so I'll finish 9-9. You know, after 18 games in 3 hours, a 500 win rate. I cannot tell you how many more games I would have won if PDCGL just cooperated slightly. I cannot begin to explain to you the amount of games I would have won if PDCGL was like, yeah, I got you, bro. But PDCGL was never like that. PDC was like, I don't got you, bro. It's the opposite of gotten you, bro. All right, so let's get rid of Air Balloon, Surf. Actually, I guess... And they're conceding. There you go. See, I knock out the Fez, and then I evolve into the Chinchilla, and then I just win from there. So I think Joltik is just a fun combo if you don't mind relying on the heart of the cards. If you do go for Joltik, don't be afraid to play Meganium. That's the thing. Metang is number one because it's easily repeatable with Energy Recycler. Anything with Meganium and Grass Energy is good, and Joltik is a very cheap option to do that. But being able to pair Joltik with Force to Vitality when you want to have Battle Cage is not great. So Cinccino is the third best new deck of Chaos Rising, though I guess maybe Metagross might be third, but I'm choosing to say this is the third best new deck as long as you flip heads. If your coin flip luck is better than mine, Cinccino is good. If I was the opposite way, I'd be like 13-6, but because PDC Jail hates me, my toes are out.